But Chon, oh my gosh, okay, I hear the halo already. It's loud. Hey everybody, Matt, you want to say who you are?
Yeah, this is Matt. I am Kingpilled. This is the YouTube channel, the podcast, and I'm on Twitter at Real Kingpilled. I talk a lot of politics lately, politics news. I do a daily show called the Astrolabe. Started out as a morning show, has kind of become an evening show. Maybe it will be an afternoon show, but really, morning is when I say it is. So I say it's still a morning show. But yeah, every Monday to Friday, I do a stream over there, and then I'm pretty active on Twitter.
And now you've been bequeathed the name Choncho.
Yeah, apparently. I guess I'm Choncho. Seeing that it's coming from Justin, I recognize that I don't need to try to make sense of it.
He didn't give me any preamble, any explanation. He just told me, he gave me a mission.
To call me Choncho?
Yeah, he said, you have to call him Choncho, get everyone else to do it, and then give me the credit. Is what he called me on the phone 10 minutes ago to say that.
All right, I'm happy to play along. I'm Choncho now.
All right, okay. Well, I've made some ground.
Yeah, I'll throw you a bone. So
Justin also was like, how long you guys been talking to Matt for a long time? We got Mir and Chuck now just subscribed to me, so I think I'm officially one of our guys. I think that's what that means.
You're coming up, man.
Yeah. But what did Justin say? He was trying to give me a pep talk. He was saying like, you're such a great dude. You're like well-rounded. You've got like kids, and like, I don't have kids, man. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. Justin is a great dude. Everybody pray for him. And he was really good at talking me up. He said, I don't know. He acted like we were going to get in a fight though. Maybe because we're going to play Halo.
Yes.
I'm figuring out live. Cause he was acting like I was going to go into a boxing ring. So I don't think we're not going to like argue or anything.
You should play Halo against him. That would be, I make sure you do it when I'm here to watch.
There's an initiation.
Uh-oh. This is getting too real.
Oh. What was I saying? My brain's all fried. Oh yeah. Justin something.
He said he was giving you a pep talk.
Yeah, he was giving me a pep talk. What was something else? Oh yeah, he was asking me how long we've known each other. And I said I actually found out about Curse World problems like 2 months before I found out about you. And he's like, what? That's like the first time I've ever heard that. I just assumed you were a Kingpilled guy, like you were in that crew or whatever. Like I found out you guys knew each other because you showed up on Matt's channel one day.
I remember that. What was it?
It was a live stream.
Tim Ferlac.
Yeah.
Jossutin Tim Ferlac and Colian Ganoir.
It was really confusing.
Yeah, you're definitely the person that, like, the one person I think that found Kingpilled through Curse World problems.
Yeah, well, same Slowboy Whiteboard was the connection both the times, because Slowboy uploaded a clip of Curse World. That's how I saw that. And then Slowboy was in my chat, and for like 3 days in a row was like, everybody go raid Kingpill. I'm like, I don't know who that is.
I remember that. I remember like people saying, "Oh, Mr. Westford is gonna raid you," and I was like, "I don't know who that is."
Yeah, yeah. I hopped in the chat, just like listening. They're like, "Yeah, I guess." And then you guys showed up like the next week or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've actually known Colin and Justin longer than I've known you.
Oh yeah, I mean probably for a while, because I know Colin said he was in your guys' Discord a while before he was thinking about doing Curse World and starting everything.
Mm-hmm. And I met him because we did we were selling a fitness program. We were doing some fitness coaching last year, and he was listening to the show, and I did the advertisement, and he responded to it and called me, and I, like, as soon as we got on the phone, immediately I was like, oh yeah, this is one of our guys here.
Yeah, pretty instant. They're good guys. If you guys don't watch Curse World, I mean, they're kind of in a hiatus because I don't know how much you guys want to talk about. I've been talking about the Patriot drop on this channel.
Yeah, they've been contributing a lot to the accessing the secret transmission and kind of building up the infrastructure to make sure that we can transmit that the secret messages out to everyone.
Right. Yeah. If the message doesn't get out, and we can't let Dr. Brainrot win, obviously.
Right.
We got to do our part. I don't know what else to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's you guys definitely EWBSX.com is where we've we've let people know about what's going on. Or you can go to Twitter at Real Kingpilled. You can look at my my pinned tweet. We just so happened we got access to this secret transmission that's delivering us messages from the other side of the ice wall, and we like just happened to stumble upon it. And by the most miraculous thing ever, we actually got footage of the moment that we first accessed it. So
the cameras happened to be rolling.
Just happened to be rolling, yeah. And you know, it was a great moment. We happened to get that moment in history on film, and so so that's posted on my my pinned tweet right now at Real Kingpilled if you want to see that momentous occasion.
I've been sending this URL to just to people I know, a lot of Orthodox people, and the most common response I get is, "Have you been hacked?" Is this?
That's perfect. Good.
And I'm like, just trust me. And they're like, "Is that?" I'm gonna call you real quick.
Oh man, that's so good. That's so good. The lore continues.
I posted it in Discords, and then it gets removed, and they're like, "Hey man, like, are you good?" Yeah, hey, put it back up. Put it back up.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah,
I know it's unbelievable, but that's why it's so important that everyone sees it.
Right. It's like when you show somebody a good movie, you don't. I hate when people are like, "Oh yeah, like the third act goes crazy and this guy dies." It's like, just show me the movie. You know?
Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing. Just click the link, trust, let it unfold.
Right. Right.
And then, so I didn't know you guys knew Jim Bob as well. People are saying that they found out about you through Jim Bob. I found out Jim Bob through Instagram, like pretty early 2020. But I watched him like very infrequently, and then I started watching him pretty heavily this year.
I think so. I found Jim Bob through. So I'd seen his cartoons several, like I don't know when they first started coming on, 2015, 2016, something like that. I'd seen them, and he has a very distinct art style. So I kind of, there was like him and Stone Toss were like the political cartoonists, and then there's Ben Garrison. Like they all kind of that's how I thought of him. And then I think it was from The Crucible, which I found from Jay Dyer.
Yeah,
so I went Jay Dyer, The Crucible, Jim Bob.
I saw Jay on a Crucible debate, and then didn't see it again for months, and then didn't know they were like an Orthodox thing or whatever. And then now everybody knows about the Wilsons and everything. I actually found out about Rachel maybe even like a year before I knew about Andrew.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I think I actually didn't find The Crucible through Andrew. Interestingly, it was, I didn't know Andrew was associated with it. So I knew who Andrew was, and I knew who Rachel was. And I think I knew that they were married. But then The Crucible, I saw an episode where Jay Dyer debated Sola Scriptura or something like that with some other guy who was our original host on the show that I don't think, after I started watching it, he never showed up again. He was some like black Calvinist guy.
Okay. I think I know. Yeah. Is that the Pedro guy or something?
Yeah. Pedro. Yeah. So I found Jim Bob, and so then actually there's a Jim Bob's been on Kingpilled right after he and Owen Benjamin had the debate on the Trinity. Cooper and I did.
I haven't seen that. Since I am late to like the Jim Bob lore, I just hear like tales of the Owen stuff. I didn't really see any of that.
Yeah. I was following them very closely through all of that. And so after it happened, Cooper and I were talking, and we did a reaction stream to the debate, talking about our like we were definitely on the Jim Bob side of it, but there was some parts of his argumentation that weren't quite right, and so we were critiquing it. And then someone tagged him in it or sent it to him, and he replied and was like, "This is fantastic. I want to talk to you guys." So he came on the show, and we did a stream, and then it turned. We did a call-in thing, had people come on the panel, and some big Protestant YouTuber guy jumped in and like started getting into a fight with us, and we brought him on the stream, and it turned into a whole mess.
Yeah, it sounds like
I think that's probably the most comments that I've ever gotten on a stream.
Oh wow. Yeah, I think mine is I did a like people because I this whole summer I was just kind of like, let's just try to stream some more and figure this thing out, and like not really knowing my like what is this supposed to be, just kind of trying to have fun. And people are like, you should do a stream about this. So like they asked me to do a Black Hebrew Israelite stream. That's still like my most viewed, most like this Edomite is going to burn in hell. Like just tons of those comments. And because like my joke, sorry, my lore is that I'm the blackest man on the internet. So I'll just reply like, you're not even mulatto in comparison to me, bro.
you call him like an octoroon or something.
Yeah. So I've been talking about doing like a sequel to that. I don't know if you just talk about them and then the algorithm blesses it, or they're just always looking for something, or I don't know.
Yeah, that's man, you say Black Hebrew Israelite, and that made me think of something.
Don't say it 3 times. I've already said it once. You said it once.
Those are like 3 words that if you put them in a row, like any algorithm is going to hone in on them real easily.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I was going to say, I have to credit a lot of my like political thinking now is due to you and Jason Mirachuk and I don't even know how would you guys like, what would you call the whole coalition? Is it just the Kingpilled crew?
Yeah. I mean, we're going through like such a political transformation right now that, the words we use, we have our mouth sounds that we use to refer to our mind pictures. And it's really
right.
This is a very fluid situation where words mean lots of different things to lots of different people. And so if you're trying to, I guess, get a bunch of different people that are all more or less on the same page, starting to build a coalition, then you necessarily have to spend a lot of time hammering out that discrepancy and making sure that you're thinking of the same people. When I use shorthand to refer to a particular group of people, I want you to know the definition of that shorthand.
Right.
It's kind of like it's like a key phrase that it contains a concept, and so you have to make sure that concept is 1-to-1 between my brain and your brain. So
we're gonna hash this out right now.
I don't know that it's necessarily hash outable. Is kind of the thing. You just have to just determine your terms.
There's already like Muhammad here trying to say that it's actually the goat father family. So
goat father family. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like at the top there's I've just said the MAGA coalition. It's okay. There's just and then with it, like you can start segmenting it down as it breaks up into smaller and smaller chunks. But there's been people call them the dissident right. I don't really like the term. It's a kind of a loser perspective. And then you've got like Christian nationalists, and then you've got Christians who are nationalists, and then you've got non-Christians who are nationalists. You've got
probably
pagans.
Have some Christians who aren't national. I mean, there's a lot of Protestants are like total separation of church and state, like nationalism, but not, like you said, not Christian nationalism. Like it should be just the Constitution, just Americanism.
Right. Yeah. So like the largest tent might be kind of like that like Americanism, just generally speaking. And I guess at the broad level, that's really the demarcating line that is forming. There's a new dialectic on the rise, and it's going to be between people who are pro-America and people who are anti-America. And then obviously those are not very easily definable terms, but that's kind of the thing, is that when you use one of these little labels to define a vast group of people, there's not going to be one specific term that perfectly encapsulates everything that represents that specific group and sets them apart from the other.
Right. And as you're trying to define your own group, time is going. So the circumstances you're in, the people that are in it and people have left, like it's going to change as it goes. So a lot of this might be like retrospectively saying this was the best label for that period, something like that. Like how, the world wars, people didn't realize they were in the first year of the world war until at the end of it. And they're like, oh, hey, that's where it started.
Yeah. And it wasn't the first world war until 20 plus years later.
Right. Yeah. It was just the war to end all wars, right?
Yeah. Or the Great War. Yeah. So, I think really the easiest way to think about it is more in terms of coalitions, and because the smaller the group of people, the more easily definable they are. So, if you have one person, you can like define like, here's what I stand for. Here's what I believe. Here's who I am. If you get 2 people, well, now you got to congeal on something. Now, if you get out to 10, 50, 100, the more you scale it out, the more difficult it becomes to find one single thing that unites everyone.
Right. I feel like the normie like criticism was like, oh, you're just going to water it down, lowest common denominator.
Right. You kind of have to do that as a matter of political organization if you're going to scale. Now there's the debate, like, do you want to scale? Is scaling something that's important to you, or are you a localist, or someone that just wants to focus on your local domain, let everything outside 100 square miles from me do whatever it's going to do, and I'm just concerned about this. That's a perfectly fine perspective to have, I think. But I don't remember what got me thinking about that. What was the last thing you said?
We're talking about like coalitions. As you scale them up, you kind of have to do a lowest common denominator because some people are going to have special interests. There's going to be like single issue voters.
Right. And so, in a sense, you have to. This is kind of like the, I don't know, the eternal bargain that has to be made is that you're going to have to sacrifice purity for scale. These two things, you can get one or you can get the other, and you have to find a balance between them. So I think I think it's necessary to be politically active, to have a political awareness. I think that the notion that like you should be politically agnostic, or everyone's all the same, or this is an entirely secular thing that we should have no part in. Like, all of this is honestly, it's kind of gay. It's very libertarian. It's like,
right.
Nobody thought this way until, I don't know, maybe the last 80 years or so. It's developed over time, but it's always been like part of being a responsible, upstanding Christian is being civically active and being engaged in stuff with the community. And I wouldn't say that that's just strictly business, because you can't really do business without being political or without being involved in politics, especially if you want to go beyond a certain scale. So I think there is the notion that, yes, like we need to be politically active. They're being aware of and influencing a political movement is a Christian responsibility. Actually, the person who convinced me of this the most clearly was Father Josiah Trenum. When my wife and I went and met with him, because that's the first church we started going to when we first started getting into Orthodoxy. That was the closest church to us. And one of the things he said is that, because I was asking him, I was talking to him about the podcast that I was doing, because I was starting to talk about Orthodoxy, but I was finding myself where people were looking at me as like to learn about Orthodoxy, and I'm like, I'm learning about Orthodoxy, so I'm not really
right.
But
I can ask questions along with you, but
right, yeah, but I don't want to be seen as an authority or something on this. But I'm also getting tons of people messaging me saying, "Thank you so much for talking about this. Thanks for mentioning Lord of Spirits. You know, because of you talking about it, I'm now going to church. I'm starting to look into Orthodoxy, this sort of thing." And so I was, do I keep doing what I'm doing? Do I stop doing what I'm doing? Do I change what I'm doing? So that was one of the things I wanted to talk to him about. And he said that he strongly encourages all of his parishioners to actively be involved in their local community, because it is a Christian responsibility. If you have, like, this is part of being a leader. Being a leader in your community involves being politically active. And so when he told me, you know, with respect to the podcast, like, basically just keep describing your experience and be humble about it.
And that was a similar thing. Like I appreciated with watching Jim Bob, mostly through his like Instagram, but like seeing him becoming aware of Orthodoxy, and then he became a catechumen quite a while ago, but just like getting to see him work, like he would have conversations on live streams, and he was pretty honest and open about like his conversion as it was happening, like asking questions and starting to come into an understanding. It was kind of be able to see it real time.
Mm-hmm. And I was tracking along with him, kind of. I don't remember the exact timing of everything, but it was while I was a catechumen, like a little before and a little after becoming a catechumen, as he was encountering it. And so was able to have some good conversations with him about it. That was part of why I think we started talking about Jim Bob, because people found me through Jim Bob. I would go on his panels, and when he would open up the show to jump on the stream, I would hop on there and talk to him about stuff.
Miranchuk now says, obviously the group name has to be the Prodigal Sons. That might alienate some of the secular part of the coalition, but
yeah, potentially.
Working title.
Yeah. That's kind of like you're like talking past the close.
Yeah,
it's a good technique. I think, like, to me, that's what I was saying before. I thought there was an unfinished thought out there. In thinking in terms of a coalition, like a coalition is not like a declaration of ultimate values that I heretofore endorse everything about whatever this other group of people that I'm allied with do.
Right. An ally doesn't mean that you condone or agree with everything they say,
right.
or that they'd be part of you. They wouldn't be an ally.
Right. So they're an ally. They're not a friend necessarily, but they're an ally. And we live in a political environment right now where democratic coalition politics is the way that anything happens on the political front. And so, and that itself is downstream of other things. I don't think that the politics interactivity is an end unto itself. I think that it's a domain where we have a responsibility to be present and active as a like hand in hand with our activity in the so-called private sector. I think that the private sector versus public sector thing this is more kind of gay libertarian nonsense. There's no such thing as the public sector or the private sector.
Well, Jim Bob makes some great like anti-libertarian arguments of like if the private sector, like BlackRock, just bought everything, then they could do whatever they want. They could be their own government because it's private. Like you can just privatize government and then you take away all the libertarians' arguments. You take the floor out from under them.
Exactly. That's what, like, if you abolish the state, the next thing you're going to get is, I don't know, a private defense agency that all the incentives are aligned such that they're going to effectively begin functioning as a state. And most likely what you're going to get is you're going to get a coalition of different interests that all start scratching each other's back in just the right way. And you wind up right back where we are.
Right. That's also how you can get
libertarianism.
You can get influence and help if you think that you're going the best, the most base, pure way, whatever, that you have the best values. If you ally with people that have some overlap, you can help have influence over them to push them. You can go in the same direction, and maybe you will, I don't know, convert or at least sway or whatever.
Right. Yeah, and this is why I think there isn't a public or a private sector. There's just society, and you're interacting with it. And are you providing net positive value in your interactions with other people? Are you operating with a low time preference? Looking at the time horizons are far out. You're planning long term. You're building for future generations, and then, I mean, like being able to ensure that your society continues to value and respect the church and recognize the place of the church in society. Well, the church needs to be an active member of society. It needs to be there, present, and providing net value to the experience of other people from their perspective. Otherwise, you're just like the insular people that hide out from everyone else and don't really interact with people. That's not Christianity.
I think there's
a place for some people to be that way. Within Christianity, but that's not prescriptive to the entire church.
Well, even like we can come up with church with Orthodox examples of people getting out of the isolationist or out of their hermitage and then coming into like the arena, the public sphere, like that was St. Gregory Palamas versus Barlaam. He was like, this is, I'm a hermit. I'm sitting down here in my hut or whatever, but I got to go set this dude straight.
Right. And they're effectively engaged in the act of like political rhetoric. They're occupying that space in the public sphere.
So before we hop into Halo, I think we're going to continue this a little bit. So Bill said, ever hear of Christian anarchism? Why, yes, I was a Christian anarchist for several years.
So was I.
Yeah, I would say probably from like age 15 is when I started. I don't know if I was probably calling myself an anarchist by then, maybe a little bit later. And then I was probably like 21, 22 by the time I stopped doing that.
I was about 21 or 22 when I started, I think.
Okay. Yeah. I was just listening to punk music and started, I would listen to tons of like prot rock bands, prot metal bands. And a lot of them were super into anarcho, not even capital, just like anarchy. It's like, it was like anarcho pacifism. Like Christ says, turn the other cheek, to do all these things, to put down your sword. So, America's got the biggest military. It was like pretty anti-American, like throwing rocks, like talking about all the problems. And then a lot of it now, like kind of looking at like the neocon stuff is what the biggest critiques were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like an outgrowth of punk culture.
Yeah.
and sort of just the people who are like, you fuck the system, angsty young men.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Jim Bob said you had to get a chair with green on. I don't think it has green on it. I'm just doing the cheap like virtual background because I don't want to like clean up behind me and make it look presentable or anything. I just haven't taken the time. But yeah, so I would say I grew up with a conservative Protestant home. Dad would take me to school listening to like Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly, those kinds of people. So I had a lot of those talking points in my head. I remember I got ISS in whenever Obama was inaugurated. That was like 6th or 7th grade for me. And like I had all these conservative talking points in my head, and there was like 5 black kids talking about Obama's the greatest, like our country is gonna finally be not racist or whatever. And I was like telling them like how terrible his socialist policies were, and they're like, "You're just a racist." I was like, "Well," and they said, what do you believe in, white power?" I'm like, "Well, if not liking his socialist policies means I'm racist, white power, I guess." And then immediate ISS. I was like, "You guys." I wasn't all right. Well,
Yeah.
so from that into yeah, just well, yeah, that's how you get radicalized.
yeah, no kidding. I was
context matters.
Very similar, like had the conservative Christian upbringing. Wasn't super super political. Just kind of, I think just call it like generic civil Christian kind of. And but my dad did listen occasionally to like Michael Medved and some of those talk radio shows. So I had that pacing kind of in my head. And then I remember I went to high school in Canada, and it was 2003 to 2006. And up there, I would get in like political arguments with people, and it was like the cringiest neocon sort of surface level tripe. We're not fighting wars for oil. It's it's because of terrorism, and get them over there. It's that sort of thing.
Remember? Did you already forget 9/11?
Yeah, right. I love me some Toby Keith. But then it was I was in college, and my dad had introduced me to Gary North, and he was on like Gary North's newsletter or something like that. And so he would send me stuff from him. So from Gary North, I found Tom Woods. And so then I wrote in Ron Paul in 2008 and 2012, and went totally down the Tom Woods rabbit hole, listened to everything, and wrote a piece wrote a research paper for a research writing class in college on the connection between the gold standard and the rise of the gold standard and authoritarian. The abolition of the gold standard and authoritarianism was like the connection I was making.
So after Nixon, the authoritarianism was on the rise?
Yeah. I was making like a get rid of the gold standard and Nazis appear argument. And so I started listening to Jason Stapleton, and then then I went to Jason Stapleton's Facebook page or his Facebook group, and there was this hot chick that was really active in there, and started talking to her, and we wound up getting married, and she worked for him, and so then I started. That's the one, yeah.
She says my brain can't wrap itself around ISS and Obama's years being in the same sentence. I am a millennial, technically. I'm like my wife is a year younger than me, so she's like the youngest. Like everybody's cut off. She's like the last year for millennial, and I'm the one above it.
So you're what are you, like 99?
95, and she's 96.
Oh, okay, yeah. People that the end of millennials and beginning of the Zoomers is a really, really blurry line.
So my little brother is 99, and I consider him a Zoomer because we have some overlap because we grew up together, but like after my graduation of high school, and like seeing him and all his friends in high school, I'm like, it doesn't seem the same.
Yeah, I was born in 88, and I had friends that were like born in the early 90s, and it was like 91, 92, and we would talk, and I would be like, "Do you remember a time when Walmart wasn't everywhere?" And they were like, "No." Like, do you remember not having a computer in the house? And they would be like, "No, we've always had a computer in the house." So there was some pretty substantial differences, even just in that like 4-year gap there. So if you go from like 88, which is basically like right I guess it's kind of on the early end of millennial, but pretty close to the middle. 10 years after that is very different. There's a pretty substantial difference there. And I think the technology curve is kind of compressing the generational
it is.
relationships.
With like AI and crypto, all these different things coming out now, like it's, I mean, even like people that are 20 or, I mean, people that are 22 call me a boomer already, but I'm sure the people that are 16 look at the people that are 20 and think they're out of touch already.
Yeah, very much. Cause like, I think for me, like to be a millennial, it kind of seems like you need to remember where you were on 9/11.
Yeah.
Like that you kind of have to have a social awareness by 9/11. So that pushes it back. It kind of varies for people, but it's kind of like 97 maybe at the very latest, but then it's more back around 95. And so that would put millennials beginning kind of maybe 12 years before that. So like 81 to 83. And the previous generations were like 20 years per generation. And you can see those pretty distinctly. Like the difference between Boomer and Gen X is fairly distinct.
Yeah.
And then Gen X and Millennial is fairly distinct as well, but it's starting to get a little fuzzy. And then the Millennial Zoomer one gets really fuzzy. And I think what's happening is we're getting, it's not that the generations are getting closer together, it's that we're getting more generations, more distinct micro generations.
Okay, so the interval of a new generation is a smaller wave. So the wave comes down every 6 years, 5 years, something like that, rather than 12, 15.
Yeah. And it's like you might have, so instead of maybe a 20-year generation gap, you might have over the course of 12 to 15 years, there's this progression that happens, but there's a bunch of micro generations in there that
I see
are more similar to each other than like Boomer Gen X would be, but they're still distinct enough that they can't quite be seen as the same generation.
This comment already shows that millennial is at least split in two between the older and the younger. I'm more of like a zillennial or something.
Yeah. There's the Xennial and then the zillennial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this stuff is all really interesting because what it ties into is the number one, the trends of technology, and then like the Fourth Turning guys have shown how there is a personality to each generational cohort, and it's really just a matter of kind of where you differentiate those. But it's very obvious that these different collective psychologies arise because it's in response to the playing out of natural tendencies of human nature writ large. So, you get people take all sorts of different angles on this. It's kind of like the soft men lead to hard times create hard men create good times. That thing. People come up with all these different theories, but they're all pointing at this fact that there's a trajectory. There's like a linear, but also a cyclical trajectory to the human experience on the macrocosmic level. And I think that is a very fascinating characteristic because you can almost think of humanity as a person, as a single person, and
like
if you
Adam,
look at it that way, yes. So there's where these things are not just entirely metaphorical. There's an actual real truth to it. And so then us being made in the image of God and Christ, the logos of the universe being human, is directly connected to this, and that's why I enjoy the generational talk. Have you ever thought about, and this is just me like talking out of the air, like Jesus was in a generation, like just like how you and I are? I never really think about it that way. Like, were they thinking about, obviously the technology, at least as far as we know, wasn't like booming crazy fast like it is in our day, but he was brought up in a generation of children. I mean, a lot of them were murdered when he was a baby, but it's like still he has a fingerprint, he has a blood type, so they, with the Shroud of Turin, they're saying that they know or speculate that they know his blood type. Yeah, which is kind of wild. Like that's that's God's blood type. Kind of wild, yeah. I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm saying. It makes sense together, but it doesn't mean anything. I don't know how to understand this. Yeah, it makes sense, but I feel like part of me's not like switched on. It's just Jim Bob said, anyone else here graduate with 34 people total? I graduated with 14 people total.
Well, I got expelled in high school, so I was homeschooled the last like 2.5 years of high school, so I was one of like 5.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had like 70 people in my whole high school. Very small.
I going back earlier in the conversation with being involved in the political life or just the public sphere, the civic life. I think there's a big, I don't know, problem or whatever. There's a lot of young Orthodox men specifically that are, you could say black pilled or whatever, but like they become, and this was kind of, I was on that trajectory. I know people that are like further down and they haven't really bounced back. And you can even look at people like Exposing Powerful Lies, like Jerry. He said that I've talked to him a little bit, and he said that like, you know, even a year ago, like seeing all the different things about Trump, like warp speed and all these things you can criticize about him that from his first term, like not seeing a lot of hope for the future, not thinking he's going to win, but then like seeing like, oh, hey, like we have this chance with Trump in this election, and there might be some good that can come out of it, that we should involve ourselves in the political sphere. And like Jerry and I kind of had that same like flip at the same time this year with going back to our position of Trump after 2020, like being black pilled from all the stuff, seeing the stolen election, all those things. So I think there's different aspects. I was black pilled by seeing the broken system, seeing like, I can't, you know, because I was America and then anarchy. And then I came out, I went into like kind of there was like Christian anarchy, pacifism. And then I started drifting towards like generic squishy liberalism, because I had a there was like rumors about me at church and stuff like that, and then there was like a kind of a very heated moment with my mom, and she believed in the rumors and confronted me, and I was all this stuff, but that kind of pushed me adrift, started deconstructing all of my Protestant stuff, putting everything into question. And after that was maybe 3 years of that, and then I started coming back to like maybe my dad wasn't wrong about everything, and just kind of became I wouldn't have called myself a libertarian, but kind of that. Just kind of I started watching Daily Wire and a lot of Stephen Crowder and Gavin McInnes, all these different people, and started just kind of downloading, and then introduced into Orthodoxy 2019, and then the election and all that. So I think for me it was the black pilling of I'm coming back into buying into this American system, and then seeing, oh hey, like it's not real. The election's not real, obviously, and being checked out from that. Like, okay, I think that the church is the answer, and that we should, this isn't a political issue first and foremost. It's a spiritual issue. If we fix the spiritual issues of the people of America, then that will fix the political issues. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. But it was like checking out of civic life. That was me the last like 4 years. So like pretty much since I've been baptized till this summer. But I know a lot of other people that get into becoming a monarchist, and then just seeing America at its roots is Messianic, Protestant, deist, all these things, and just like the whole thing needs to be destroyed, and we shouldn't engage with it. We shouldn't give our pinch of incense to the system because it's not monarchy. And I don't think I was that far. I mean, I became a monarchist like 3 years ago, looking into this, seeing a lot of, listening to a lot of Jay Dyer and hearing a lot of arguments, reading into the history of different holy patriarchs and monarchists, monarchies in our church. So I would say that's like the two lines of black pill I see, at least with like young Orthodox folks, is problems in today's, or even like the last 4 to 6 years of American politics, and then being checked out from that, or going back to the beginning and criticizing the Enlightenment and all these things. And I think there's a lot of stuff to criticize, but I especially listening to you and hearing your thoughts, like, oh yeah, hey, like it is kind of gay to just like abdicate all of your power and leave it to somebody else. Like, yeah, we should try to convert people and evangelize, but doesn't mean we shouldn't try to push America in the right direction. I live here. Like I know people that are the second black pill type, where it's like everything Enlightenment is gay. And they're like, I wish there was a war. Like I want Russia to come and destroy America so we can rebuild. I'm like, my brother in Christ, you have children here. You have children. You do not want warfare where your children live. I'm sorry.
This reminds me of my good friend Pete Quinones, and something that when he and I, along with Buck Johnson and Adam Patrick and Mark Clare and a handful of other people, we're all having a Joy Behar.
Sorry.
Yeah, she's
even know
from
who that
The View. She's like the.
Oh,
I was going to say the
I
crazy
don't
old
know.
lady on The View.
Yeah, sure.
Pick
I mean,
one.
it's not more of a hate. It's probably not more of a hate. It's more like a you shouldn't be allowed to talk, lady. I don't even know you.
What was I saying?
More hate face. Sorry, I didn't interrupt you. Everybody, what was Kingpill saying?
I
was talking about the black pills. The
black pills. Oh yeah.
Seeing kind of two different types of black pill.
Yeah, I can't. I remember. I can't remember exactly what I was saying, but to say so if your premise is this whole system is corrupt, and so like by participating in it, you'd get that corruption on you, and that's going to be like icky, and you got to get that ickiness off of you. It's really I when I started thinking about it, I think the thing that unlocked this part of my brain was someone said, so your assumption here is you're basically endorsing the idea that the government will be full of anti-Christians.
Right.
You're effectively by saying Christians shouldn't not have any involvement in this. This is like endorsing a non-Christian or even anti-Christian government performatively.
Right.
And you're saying, well, no, I'm not responsible for that because I'm not doing anything. You can't accuse me of harming anyone because I'm not doing anything. So this is libertarianism, really.
Yeah, that was a huge
modern
key
Christianity is libertarian.
for me. When you were because I had said like I saw this person say this view and that didn't really make sense to me. I was talking to you in DMs and you said like, oh, that's because they're a libertarian. I was like, for you when you said that, I was like, oh well, I don't know, like this is why I disagree with them. Like, yeah, that's because they're libertarian. You said it the second time, I was like, wait a second. Oh my gosh, you're right. Like it didn't really sink in. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I feel like they didn't say anything explicit libertarian, but yeah, it was. We should abdicate everything. This is the public sphere. That's the government, and we just need to operate in the private sphere. It was like, oh yeah, that is libertarianism. Yeah, that's what it is.
And this is and like the notion that I can't participate in the process of governing my region because it will corrupt me. It will get like it's like I'm getting poop on my shoe is a really incredibly prideful position. Like I'm too good to go get all that yuckiness on me. All the bad people need to go be involved in the yucky stuff, and I'm going to be
and the yucky stuff that like affects my family and everyone I know and everybody I've ever seen in this country.
Right. That's somebody else's fault. That's someone else's responsibility. Right. They're the ones who let us down, and now what are we going to do? We just have to sit here with our hands behind our back and bemoan the fact that woe is me, my society has crumbled. All of my values, the society's values are hostile to mine. They're hostile to my values. Christianity is not completely ceding the public square and just saying, "Oh, everything public is evil." This is a completely broken notion that was imported into the church through the avenue of liberalism. This is the
Well, ironically, especially like
is not a Christian perspective; it's a libertarian perspective that a Christian is holding.
This type 2 black pill, we'd say like the anti-enlightenment stuff, anti-Masonic, and there's like I said tons of legitimate critiques, but like pointing problems out of that doesn't justify you abdicating and then being like those people that I'm pointing out all these issues should be in charge and they should dictate what my family can do. So agree that we should criticize them and see that there's like philosophical, like nothing else, like there's errors, there's things we can point out, but I think people need to actually look at like what results do you want?
Yes.
Like Jay Dyer recently said in a tweet that 20-year-olds are typically very idealistic, and by the time they're 30, they become much more realistic, and they realize that the idealism is immaturity. You actually have to deal with like we talked about coalitions. Like you want a goal done. Okay, what level of impurity in your coalition are you willing to work with these people that hold this belief that you don't? That's going to give you more power to get what you want. Like you want war on our soil. The result you want is America to being orthodox. So you're an accelerationist that thinks it should be just like blown up, and a lot of people die.
And there's kind of like a persecution fetishization in
like martyrdom spirit, like a fate, like I don't know, like a phony martyrdom spirit, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, politics and war are on a continuum. These are not different things. They're the same thing. Like we use democracy to fight a war by saying whoever has the largest army wins. And so it's like it's an abstraction to prevent the actual physical killing of people.
Right.
Now, obviously, that there's a continuum within that continuum where the system is doing a better job or a worse job. Now, I think that it's better to be able to settle societal disputes politically than to settle them through war. But if they're not settled politically, then they will be settled through war. So if there was an active war happening, there would be no Christian basis whatsoever for someone to say you should not be participating in taking up arms and protecting your family and your community from people who are seeking to do harm to you. It's actually explicitly Christian.
Right. Yeah. Orthodoxy is not
your family
pacifist, but it's also not warmongering. It's not neocon warmongering. Let's go nuke some stuff so we can make it better. That sounds kind of like we're spreading democracy, but it's like we're spreading monarchy. It seems like that same kind of like, I don't know, colonial. Like let's go. We're gonna go liberate them from despots and take their poppy fields and oil.
Yeah, right. And like if you go out and as a soldier you go out in a war and you kill someone, like you still have to confess for that.
Right.
My understanding is you'll be excommunicated for a period of time, and you have to go through fasting and confession and because like you're still that act has still corrupted you spiritually, even if it was a necessary act. This is part of like that's the world that we live in right now. So then I think in the same way, if you're thinking if politics and war are on a continuum, which I think is undeniable, then participating in the political system, like running for office or participating in the system actively, probably has a similar effect. Like, yeah, you're gonna wind up being in places that are where you're gonna do things that aren't good for you, and your responsibility is to be operating with humility and seeking to make the right decision on every front. But by dint of the circumstances, you are definitely going to fall at some point. You're going to make a wrong decision. So you're going to maybe, hopefully metaphorically kill someone on the battlefield. And then you need to confess for having done that. But this isn't to say you might do something bad, therefore don't be involved at all. Just cede your communities over entirely and operate only in the private sector. You're retrofitting like 17th, 18th century property theory onto Christianity. Christianity historically has not had a private sector and a public sector. That's a new evolution. And then particularly even today, the private and public sector are so intertwined that if you're going to say Christians shouldn't be active politically at all, then you're kind of saying Christians shouldn't own businesses.
Well, it's also as like the death of privacy becomes more tangible to people, and like we can find out that our Wi-Fi signal can just like make 3D images of us. Like, oh, hey, like the politics are in your home; they are in your neighborhood. It's not just over, on Main Street or wherever. It's right here. People are asking what Mila is asking thoughts on the Hindu god pantheon theory. My take is, maybe there is some like maybe we should be paying attention that there are a lot of Pajits that have Hindu, that they're Hindu or whatever, and they want to be part of the coalition and point something in that direction. And a lot of them do have a lot of money that come over here. It's usually like the higher caste that come over. But I've seen some goofy takes like, oh, somebody is definitely Hindu because the way their hair is or something like that. I'm like, that's maybe, but like, you have more. Is there like, do you have something more, please? I'm hearing you out.
I think like, yeah, definitely. Like there's plenty of, it's entirely conceivable that there is, in fact, I could say guaranteed 100% that there is demonic activity all around Capitol Hill.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, obviously, duh. So the notion that this is like we've got a different set of demons, okay? Like either way, my assumption is that demonic activity is all over the place. That's kind of like the whole premise here. that the political system is full of demonic activity, and always has been and always will be. Like that's the halls of power are where that stuff is going to live, which is precisely why we need Christians there.
Right. We got to go where the dragons are if we're going to slay any of them.
Right. To say the demons are there, so we need to cede that territory to them is like the inversion of Christianity. That doesn't make sense to me. So, and there's also a long history, an incredibly well-documented history of Christians living peaceably and functionally in pagan societies. So this isn't an endorsement of paganism. It's the recognition that there were Christians who lived in those societies who were actively involved in pagan governments.
Right. I saw somebody talking about this Hindu god pantheon theory in Trump's cabinet. Like they're like, look at all these different people. There's like 5 or 6 different Pajits in his cabinet or whatever. And a comment was like, I'm an Indian Orthodox Christian who lives in India. This is a very interesting conversation. Like, because some of it, like, I'm not trying to point fingers, but I did see like some actual racism, like just because he's brown, or like what if he's an Orthodox Christian and he has his mom gave him a Hindu name or whatever, like this is his name. I don't know.
Yeah, like one example is Kash Patel. I don't know what his religious. I don't think he really has a religious public facing stance at all. But he was born in like Long Island and grew up in Long Island. Went to high school, went to college at American universities. Doesn't even have an accent. Like the dude is American. He's American. He just happens to be brown and have a Pajit name. Right. I think his parents might have been immigrants. I'd guess probably, given his age, he's 40-ish, 45. So I think his parents were probably immigrants. So he was probably raised more or less Hindu, but there was plenty of Hindus or plenty of Indian people who left India who were not necessarily Hindu. You know, the tides of secularization have been well advancing for a very long time all over the place. So simply saying there's Indian people there, therefore this is a plot by the Hindu pantheon of gods. I mean, to the extent that there's a conglomeration of any sort of nationality or ethnicity that heralds from some pagan background that is present together in one place. I think you could make a similar case about like Protestants or like if you could get real anal about Catholicism if you wanted to, but I don't think this is productive or necessary or prescriptive at all.
Yeah, and like I don't even know. I've met like some Indian people. There's a lot of Pajits in my area, but I don't even know. Like, are they like Catholics? You know, like around World War II, like they all, or like like Italian Catholics are like, we want our kids to be American, so that means Protestant. Like we're going to water down our beliefs for that we were given to become more American. I don't know if that's a thing in like Indian immigrants. They're like, oh, be more American. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, and like assume the absolute worst. Assume that this is a coherent plot. I mean, I know it's not right to talk about demons this way, but you know what I mean? Like this is a plot by the demons to get all the Hindu gods in one place so that they can do some sort of thing or whatever. Okay. Great. That makes it sound like it's even more important that we get good Christian representation in these places. Because this is like the premise that Christianity is taking is Christians modeling Christ are going into these places and quite literally sanctifying them with their presence.
Right.
So if you're telling me that there's a bunch of demon-possessed people in positions of power, then I would say, okay, we need to get as many Christians around them as conceivably possible.
Like, what's the actual danger, like materially? Like, let's say, there's a couple of Pajits in the cabinet or whatever, and then like, does Trump become Hindu? Do a lot of people like mass convert? Like, do they like, oh wow, Hinduism is sure better than I thought. I'm gonna go eat some curry. Like, what happens? I don't know.
Right. I didn't even thought of that myself. Like, what's the actual fear? There's Hindus there, so it's more likely we get nuclear war or something. Or there's Hindus there, so they're gonna outlaw eating beef. I mean, like, I don't.
What are the actual policies? What is like? Do you think the American populace is primed to convert because they see Vivek Ramaswamy's policies are sure great? I just don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Wow, he did such a great job with the Doge. I think, I mean, I'm sure that's going to happen with people, but there's nothing prescriptive about observing that. You're
Right.
just observing a thing that's happening.
Well,
Okay.
also, like, I think there's like a causation error there. Like, let's say your Protestant neighbor sees Vivek Ramaswamy and then starts reading Hinduism, and that becomes a Taoist or Hindu or something like that. That doesn't mean necessarily that Vivek Ramaswamy was like the causal agent. There was something within the Protestant he chose to do that. He had the agency. You might be able to say that that's almost like an anti, like when a Christian goes in and they're like, people say like, oh, you're different, or they get to know you and you become friends or whatever. Like, you're a light to them. Like, you could say it's almost like a same thing going like that, but in the opposite direction. I don't know, but
and I would say as well that you have what?
Oh, so Mir and Chuck made a good point. I think he nailed it right there. I think the actual danger is the religion of the future.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's blending it's not wholesale endorsement of Hinduism. It is a blending, is just dissolution of borders.
Right. And I think this is an issue that's orthogonal to what we're talking about here, because I remember what I was going to say. Vivek Ramaswamy was a biotech CEO, and he wrote a book about ESG. So it's conceivable that a person could read that book and be like, wow, I'm really impressed by this guy, and he's Hindu, so I'm going to go to start looking into Hinduism. So to me, that possibility is there. So the argument would be the same as saying like Christians shouldn't be biotech CEOs, like or Christians shouldn't write books. Because if they do those things, well, that guy did those things and had this thing happen to him. So I don't.
That's like what, a genetic fallacy, something like that. Like,
some kind of genetic fallacy.
Hitler ate bacon and eggs.
Right.
What are you, a Nazi?
So like, and even more, like, if we have this problem of a bunch of Hindus or a bunch of other different variety of pagans or other religious ethnicities or pseudo ethnicities are congealing around the halls of power, and they want to take them all over, then I really hope we have a generation of young Christians coming up who are prepared to defend their own homeland and protect their own people and take responsibility for their people and move into positions of leadership to lead their communities. Like, I hope that's there, because like taking the proposition on its face, it just reinforces my point to me that we need Christians involved in the political system.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if the more that are involved, the more your power, your base has sway in the coalition and can help point it in the better direction. If you don't want the Pajits to push people into the religion of the future, like Mir and Chuck now is saying, we don't have the cultural, social, or even religious systems in place to actually prevent the religion of the future. That's the danger. That's what we need to build. Yeah. That if you want to help keep people away from blending together of Christianity and Hinduism, then go out and throw your weight around. Make sure that the Pajis can be like, yeah, you can hang with us. You can be a part of this coalition. Just like JFK, or not JFK, RFK with Trump. Yeah, whatever you want to do with health and vaccines or whatever, don't touch my oil.
The beautiful, beautiful oil.
Yeah. Well, did he say recently that Bitcoin's the new oil?
He did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that has really gotten my interest lately. Everything happening around the crypto world. I think not for the investment or really the financial angle of it, but the geopolitical implications of it and the way that it's going to realign the power structure and the types of opportunities it's going to open up. And here's part of the reason why I think this is really important, because we're watching a complex system as it evolves, and it's starting to go parabolic. So things are going to start happening, and they're going to start happening really, really fast. And our problem is no longer going to be like the depressing, weighed down, stagnant world problems. It's going to be the explosive, transformative, like chaotic problems.
Yeah, we will pay to get power, because the grid's gonna burn out if we don't put it someplace. Do you want free power? We'll pay you to take power. It's gonna be too much growth.
Right.
That's like I try to learn because I've been holding Bitcoin for a while and for years, and I didn't learn what my big mistake last cycle was. I didn't take any gains. I bought pretty low, and it went up to like 64,000. I felt good, and I saw people like, "Let's go to the moon. We're going to the moon." And then it went back down, and I just held, and then it's gone back up. So I have like, long-term hodl. I'm good or whatever. I've gained, but I could have like doubled, tripled my position if I'd done that. I'm like, okay, well, that's what I'm gonna do this time. This it's going crazy. Let's do that. And then I'm seeing all this stuff, especially you're talking about like micro strategies and they're talking about getting reserve Bitcoin in the United States. And even I've seen like Russia is talking about that. And it's like, if I take profits and it goes insane, it goes parabolic. Now I've got FOMO going the other way. Like, yeah, I don't want to miss out on the, it's not like the stagnant problem of, well, yeah, let's try to double our position for when it does go to the moon. It's like, the rockets are rumbling.
Mm-hmm. There's so much, like I've been telling people, like, I don't care what your opinion is of Bitcoin itself. At this point, if you listen to the way that public figures talk about these sorts of issues, and this is one of the things, like, again, being aware of the world around you, the things that are happening in the world around you, and being able to predict what's going to happen. This is part of your responsibility as a man to be able to provide for your family. So you need to be like clued in. Being this passive, disengaged person that's just blocked out the outside world completely is like, you can be that in certain ways, but you need to be clearly aware that that's the person that you are, and everyone can't be that way. So
I also think, like, as a man, like, delegating is a way to be able to help you be laser focused on the things and be included on the things you need to be, and be like, okay, is your realm, whether it's husband and wife, to like you be included on those things so I can do more power to the things I need to do. Right.
So regardless of how anybody feels about Bitcoin, the movers and shakers, the powerful people, the ones who send signals, all of those people are signaling that Bitcoin is the new place to be.
Right.
And Trump is coming in with a pro crypto, a very, very pro crypto platform, and he's putting pro crypto people in a whole bunch of different places inside the cabinet, and they're all signaling that Bitcoin is the new frontier. At the same time that all the regime people are doing the same thing. Larry Fink is all about Bitcoin and tokenization now, and like you said, Putin is even talking about basically the inevitability of Bitcoin.
People that were saying it's a scam, that it doesn't have a future, like 5 years. I mean, even like Trump was saying like that's not something you should look into or something like that not too long ago.
And here's the thing, it could be a scam, and if the US government is invested in it, it's not a scam. Like, this is like when you have an institution
like the fiat argument, right?
Government, right? Yeah. So
like, my paper is worthless, but it's not because there's the United States. I mean, it's losing value because they're going burr, and that's where Bitcoin solves that, because it can't go burr.
Right. Exactly.
But I mean, that's the biggest problem with fiat is that it can be manipulated.
Right. And I mean, there's lots of ways Bitcoin can be manipulated as well. But it's, again, this is like, okay, that's a totally separate problem. Oh, they could do this with Bitcoin, or they're going to do that, or it's going to be global surveillance, or it's going to, okay, whatever. All of this concedes the point that it's going to be Bitcoin. Right. So sitting here and going, oh, it's a scam, oh, it's fake, oh, it's like whatever is this is like an outworking of cynicism and nihilism that has weighed itself down all of us like a blanket.
It's crazy how so many different things are. Like, I was even talking, like, people were asking me about Bitcoin earlier, and I was like, I feel like I'm talking about the essence energy distinction. This is weird. Like, it's just the way it's like, well, it's there's the coin that's on the ledger, but it also kind of is the ledger, but it's distinct from it. Like, that's weird. Like, Bitcoin is similar to like what we're talking about earlier with the civic sphere. It's just another form of, I mean, it's like it's in the public or whatever, but in the white paper, I believe it says if one party holds 51% of the supply, then they'll be able to like take control over it. So just like if you don't want people that have bad interests to have the power, then if you take a slice of the power, a lot of people take a slice of the power, they're part of your power block. Now they have to be your patron to acquire any of your power. And if there are certain things that are no-go for you, then they have to, just like you are going to, I want to work with this person. am I going to try to add my power with them? They're going to have to do the same thing with you. Like, it's not just, oh, the world's out there doing stuff. There's all these big, powerful people. And that's just like, I'm on myself. It's like, no, you're an agent in the game. You're like the game's happening. Other people are looking at you and you're a player. It's not just, oh, this game's happening and you're a platonic form. You're a spirit hovering above it. You're in the arena, man.
Right. Yeah. And you're either going to, I don't know, like take advantage of the knowledge that you have. And I don't necessarily mean that like saying the knowledge, the taking advantage of the knowledge means investing in like buying Bitcoin. Like, yeah, you should probably, it's not investment advice, but, I'm buying Bitcoin with whatever I have available, which isn't very much right now. I wish it was more because like that's one aspect of it is the investment aspect. But even apart from that, you can observe the effect that this is going to have on this sort of a transformative policy is going to radically restructure the financial economy. And it's going to happen very quickly because it's going to move extremely massive money that doesn't move very often. When it does, it moves quick. So
that's where you get the parabolic. Right.
And so then the downstream effects of the complete restructuring of the financial world are, I mean, it touches everything. There literally isn't a direction you can't take this. You can go into any possible industry. You could talk about energy. You could talk about defense. You could talk about the labor market. You could talk like literally everything is going to be affected by it. So, like there's not like a one size fits all thing here. It's like wherever you are in whatever domain you're in right now, you need to be aware that things are going to start changing really, really rapidly.
Right.
And that's not all a good thing and it's not all a bad thing. It's just a thing that's going to be, and there's going to be good aspects to it and bad aspects to it. And, 100 years from now, people are going to look back at it as though like, oh yeah, that was that crazy thing that happened. And, I'm going on with my life now, so you have to have like the short-term perspective and a long-term perspective and hold them equally.
Right. Yeah. And I think like people ask me like, how much should I put in Bitcoin? It's like, what's your goal? Like, I don't know the exact number, but there's a dollar amount that it's like, if you put that amount in today or within the next year, that's if Bitcoin does what all the orange pill people think it does, then I don't know if it's $100, $1,000, $20,000. There's a dollar amount that is legacy wealth for your, generate 5 generations from now, where they're like, thank God, great grandpa bought that Bitcoin while he was working at McDonald's, because now we have a house and everything.
I'll put it this way: everything that happens with Bitcoin will have how would I say this? There's people who are like, oh, the Antichrist or that this is like leading to the global technocracy or the regime
barcodes
or whatever. All of that is tangential to this, because if those things do happen, it's all going to involve Bitcoin mooning. Like either way, over the next 20 years, Bitcoin is going to moon beyond levels that people can comprehend because of the sheer weight of the incentives in that direction. And this is a product of how degenerate the existing system is. It's massively weighed down with debt. And here comes an asset that is almost the perfect asset that can take on and basically monetize all of that debt and allow an explosion of growth and innovation. So it's going to happen. And you could say, oh, it's going to happen because it's the mark of the beast. But okay, well, it's still going to happen. Or you could say it's not going to happen. And I say you're wrong. Like either way, it's going to happen. So you can be involved in it. You could be there, whether benefiting from it financially or, like you're saying, having some say on the network, having some influence on the network, or policy around it or anything else like that. Or you could just start game theorying this out in your head and say, okay, well, if this happens, then that means this is going to happen, which is going to follow by this, and then either this or this is going to happen. And so, like, you could start positioning yourself to skate to where the puck is going, so to speak.
Yeah, and I think the number go up narrative, like that's not Bitcoin is not number go up. It's not pump and dump, because there's actual technology, and there's the ledger, and there's the blockchain technology. There's all the stuff you can learn about it, why that it makes the number go up, why it pumps. But without the technology, without Bitcoin as it is, you wouldn't be able to have number go up. So, but like there's all these different Bitcoin ideals in people's heads, that it's just the number go up, it's just an investment, or and a lot of people they're at. And I'm like, okay, great. Like, it's, if that's what gets you in, you can learn about the technology and like the in the Fed stuff later or whatever. Like, just like, it's better than putting dollar bills in your safe or whatever, or like in the bank account. Like, that's, if you just want your economic energy to not dissipate, if you want to set your food out and it stays hot in 100 years from now, instead of it going cold in a week, in 20 minutes, like that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's going to be a technology that there's so many different things it'll facilitate, but it's, for example, any sort of energy waste that happens, like exhaust from machines that are running, or, if there's like chemical reactions that are happening and they give off excess energy, that energy can be captured and directed into Bitcoin mining. So you could basically monetize entropy.
Oh my gosh. Just keep talking.
And then the lending world, I was listening to this guy the other day it's speculative, but the only thing standing in the way of these speculations becoming reality is basically just government favoritism toward the industry as a whole. Like, regulatory capture and regulatory burdens are the only thing standing in the way of these sorts of innovations. Right. So what this guy suggested is that you could have a mortgage that is secured by Bitcoin. So you have a $300,000 house. The mortgage that is issued for the house is, so assume $300,000, 80 or 20% down, so $60,000 down, and then you issue the mortgage for, I think the example that he gave was like, it's 6.99% or something along those lines. It comes out to like a $1,691 a month mortgage for just taxes and interest, or sorry, principal and interest. What he was proposing is, instead of issuing the loan for a total value of $300,000, you issue it for $330,000. $30,000 worth of Bitcoin is purchased and put into escrow. The person, instead of putting $60,000 down, they put whatever the new, to keep the same loan to value. I think it came out to being like $66,000. So they put a little bit more down, but the Bitcoin goes into escrow. And for every year that the person maintains that mortgage, they vest into 2% of the return on the Bitcoin. And so instead of it being a 30-year mortgage with a 6.99% interest rate, he said he did a 25-year mortgage for a 5.25% interest, and the mortgage payment was less than it would have been otherwise. So having that Bitcoin now secured, and you can have it like absolutely secured in escrow, you're incentivizing that person to stay in that house and to maintain that house, because they're vesting into 2% of the proceeds of the net profit on that Bitcoin every single year. And so after 25 years, they could vest into a full 50% of it. And so from the lender's perspective, the home is being secured by this Bitcoin and by their position in the Bitcoin. And it's net cheaper for the people before you even talk about vesting into the 2% of it. So like, there's all sorts of really clever financial products that can be created out of this that aren't just like elaborate scams. It's actually the opposite. It's actually creating a much sounder basis for lending. So there's a strong anti-usury incentive with Bitcoin.
Yeah, that the use cases are many, and obviously like, people are innovating, coming up with more. So it's if number goes up, helps us get to those things. Like I tell people, like, stack whatever. Read here, not financial advice, but do what you want. But like, I buy every paycheck some amount, and I put it away, and if that's what you get into it, and then you're able to like see the vision and see the use cases more later, and like it becomes more prevalent. That's awesome. But that way of buying houses is going to have a lot of ripple effects that aren't just financial. Like, I'm thinking, because so much of what real estate is now is just instead of people having homes, they have investment property. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of people buy a house so they're not setting rent on fire, which is great. But it's like, okay, well, the market's up, let's sell. Where are we going to move? Because this is like the best time for us to sell. This is going to help us, go someplace else cheaper, and then we can try to game the cycle up into wealth or whatever. And that's great. But we've gone from people just living in multi-generational homes, living near their family, to everybody moves across the country, which I mean, I didn't move across the country for wealth. I moved across the country for love. So it's not quite my situation, but yeah, I don't live near my family, and so that's going to, I think people are going to be more, you think people will be more rooted with the system like that? If
I
they're
think so.
incentivized
Yeah,
to
like,
not, that you get the same financial incentives of flipping houses, of moving every couple of years when the market's hot, uh, stay in the house. I think that's going to have a cultural effect. I think, and I think people being financially incentivized and like empowered in that way, I think that it's crazy, just all the different aspects that we're entering into. Like, people keep saying that's a potential for golden age. Like, there's so much more my whole life, it's crazy that my dad talks about like how great America was when he was growing up. And basically, since I became, any kind of politically aware in like 6th grade or whatever, it's just been talking about how terrible it is, and the Democrats are awful and they have power, and he's the Obama nation. And it's like, then all, Ferguson and all the crazy woke stuff. And my dad, I'm like, yeah, Dad, like, my whole life I've only seen America get worse, like dramatically worse, in huge leaps and bounds. And now it's like the first time in my life that I see, hey, like, there's potential to have hope, and it's not just, hey, let's try not to get stabbed in the street because the cities are unsafe. Like,
and I think when people hear someone say like that we could be on the cusp of a golden age, I think the part of that cynical nihilism out there is that. Well, actually, I'll be, to be fair, I think a lot of people may even think it this way. The people who are saying there could be a golden age, I think even some of them are thinking this way. They're thinking a golden age might happen to us.
Right. Yeah, that's how it
That's
feels.
not
like,
how it works.
A lot of people are going to wake up in it like, hey, things aren't the same like 6 months ago.
Well, I think for the golden age to happen, it's going to.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
The opportunity is for us to create a golden age.
You got to push.
For some people, it's just going to happen to them. Yeah,
you got to push the foot on the gas.
Yes, exactly. It has to be created. Golden ages are created. And here's a thought that just popped into my head. I've got this sort of running theory that we're reliving the 19th century, or sorry, the 20th century. So World War I started in 1913, and all of the woke stuff and like Ferguson and everything, Gamergate, that all started in 2013, 2014. So you can kind of map on World War I and its fallout with basically everything that's happened over the last 10 years or so. And so now we're entering the roaring 20s, which would mean after that would be a Great Depression, and then after that would be another Great War. So it's just kind of a funny thing to sort of keep track of. But a thought that just occurred to me is, I saw a tweet earlier from a guy who said that like Bitcoin encourages people to do nothing. The whole hodling concept is like,
that's the number go up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is an important part, but like, it's, again, like, that falls down because if you just hold, then it's useless.
It depends on what amount of
what the purpose is.
Yeah, right. But it does have a low time preference creating effect where it gets people starting to think longer and longer into the future and starting to contemplate the ideas of generational wealth and being able to provide for family and that sort of thing. And they're starting to look longer. So it's taken people from looking immediately in front of them and started to pull their eyes up. And there was a well-known impact of the Great Depression was people who lived through it got really, really used to like hoarding things, basically keeping things as long as possible.
Yeah. I mean, would that be deflationary? Because inflation, like hyperinflation, you want to like buy everything right now because it's like that's the only way you can get stuff. But like when it's whole, what would the maybe I missed part of it. What would the incentive be for whole? Because scarcity, because you don't know it's uncertain in the future.
Well, so with what I'm imagining here is that, so say Bitcoin, like even the conservative estimates for the growth of Bitcoin it's going to create an incredible amount of, it's going to be a massive wealth transfer, really. The Bitcoin holders are going to get much, much wealthier, and they're going to get this trajectory. The hodling meme is already out there. It's becoming a thing, and it's contagious to people. And now you've got like MicroStrategy who's doing like hodling at the top of the institutional level.
Money glitch.
And so that meme, I think, is going to keep proliferating. More and more people are going to get that hodling sense. Like we need like everything hodling represents, which is like I'm I am bought in. I am committed. There's a discipline that's being cultivated, I think, in people. And I don't know if it'll be completely good. It'll probably have some downsides. Like, it was good for people coming out of the Depression to be less wasteful, to be more circumspect and more cautious and more aware, like of being grateful for what they have and everything. But but then there was also the downside that it led people to be maybe kind of not appreciate how good things are around them, and to hoard, and you get both of these things.
I mean, as number go up, I think it's like a tide that raises all ships, because like a lot of people that are using Bitcoin more as its intended use as a currency are a lot of the people that need it the most. Obviously, like a lot of people are doing remittances to their home country, whatever, to help their poor families. People are able to send Bitcoin into war-torn countries to get people supplies where they need it, because the banking system is frozen, or it's too hot to like send in literal things. But hey, anybody that is able to connect to the internet, somebody in America can send money to Bitcoin in Ukraine, and now this family can buy a ticket out, or they can feed their family, or whatever it is. Like, it's agnostic of borders in that way, where it's a strictly peer-to-peer cash system. So the people that need it, as all the different power structures or power blocks, whatever, what your reason is for Bitcoin, you go into it. You just want number go up so you can buy a house, whatever. So you're gonna sell. The more people that buy into it, and there's tons of people that have come in and out of Bitcoin. I sold during a crash. I bought it and I sold it because I sold my Bitcoin because I wanted my money. I went and spent it with my friends, and there's people that are like, well, I shouldn't have. Like, even you have a story of, I probably shouldn't have if I didn't have to. Like, but there's people that go, I have a bag that I don't touch, that I keep putting some in, and I have a bag that is for actually using, because people aren't thinking in Bitcoin; they're still thinking in fiat, right?
Yes, right.
So as you start thinking in sats, as you start thinking in Bitcoin, like, you're going to not think of like, oh, when Bitcoin is at $1 million. If Bitcoin's you've made a pretty good argument that it's not a zero-sum game of Bitcoin go up, therefore dollar crash, because especially as it becomes a reserve for a backing of US dollar, that's going to strengthen the dollar, obviously. And people, it could even before that, it can be a strengthening of United States dollars, because what do you buy Bitcoin with right now? You buy it with United States dollar, giving United States dollar a use case of putting it into an asset that increases. It goes up.
Right. And if the United States announces a strategic Bitcoin reserve and positions themselves to become the largest single holder of Bitcoin, which again, we're talking about, like, right now there's something like 20.5 million out there that have been mined, and there's going to be,
so we have 500,000 left.
I think 19.5 million, or
okay,
it's somewhere up in that range.
I think it's like by
and there's going to
2035, it's like 98% or something like that of Bitcoin will have been mined.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah. So, and there's only got to be 21 million. So 1 Bitcoin will equal 1 Bitcoin. One Bitcoin will always equal 1 Bitcoin. And this is like one of the fundamental changes here. So people will eventually begin to think in terms of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is going to become the standard by which all other assets are judged, because 1 Bitcoin will always be 1 Bitcoin. And it can't be diluted.
And to help people like think of this a little bit, like the dollar divides into 100 parts, right? Bitcoin divides into much more. There's 8 zeros. So, 0.00000001. That's the smallest. It's a sat. So you said there's 21 million Bitcoin. There is, and how to, what is that?
It's something like quadrillion, 4.2 quadrillion, I think.
Okay. 100,000 million billion. It's 2.1 quadrillion sats.
2.1. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you take, instead of dollars, you're thinking in pennies. In Bitcoin pennies, there's 2.1 quadrillion of them.
Yes.
So, and I don't know if in 50 years, this is total speculation. I have no idea where things are going to be. Obviously, I'm not a magician, but I don't know if you buy a latte with 4 sats, 25, 1,000. I don't know, but if you with $10, you can buy a lot more than 30 sats right now.
Right. Yeah. So, like, every other asset is going to get redenominated in Bitcoin eventually. And if the United States, when we're talking about the United States becoming the largest single holder of Bitcoin, just speculating on this, but like if they did, I think we'd be looking at them holding like 3 million Bitcoin or something like that. I think right now it would be a million and a half, somewhere in there. Like, so we're not talking about anywhere close to the 51%. And the problem is, like, it's basically impossible to get to the 51% because the energy doesn't exist on Earth to generate the computing power that would be necessary to actually accomplish that.
Can you explain that a little more? I'm not sure if I understand that fully.
To actually be able to effectively accomplish a 51% attack, to be able to actually secure that much, would require, because you're going to have enough people who are not going to sell it, and the more you try to take it over, the higher you're driving the value of it. So you're making the job harder on yourself the more you try to accomplish it. So to do it like
I see.
Brute force
it's the way the
requires
incentive is
such an
structured.
astonishing level of energy that if you took all the energy sources in the world and combined them, it wouldn't be enough to process the computing that would be necessary to try to do that.
It's swimming upstream, and the faster you swim upstream, the faster the water goes against you.
Yes. So and that's one side of it. And because that's the reality, the only other option for you to do it is to you would have to do it by sheer brute force. And to actually accomplish what that would mean mechanically would require rallying like more energy than there exists on the planet to fuel that process.
By brute force, do you mean like acquiring the physical servers, miners, where the Bitcoin is stored? Because like there's the private key. If they don't have if they have any hard drive, it's on the ledger, so they'd have to have the private key. We're talking about like gunpoint, like you give me.
I don't mean buying the Bitcoin. I mean taking control of the network.
Okay, so taking control of the miners that would process transactions.
Yeah, it's not 51. The 51% attack is not 51. Is not taking control of 51% of Bitcoin,
right?
Of existing Bitcoins. It's taking control of 51% of the network.
Validators,
miners, all that, being able to control 51% of that, where you can then this is beyond getting out beyond my
you'd have I feel like to do that you'd have to, I don't know, you'd have to like go real slow and sneaky at first and then try to jump, because like the moment that if people are doing that, they're validating, they're mining or whatever, they're running a node, they're probably more tuned in and maybe they're talking to each other. So if there is somebody that is attempting an attack or whatever like that, then the incentive, the Gondor call for aid, and then more people are going to put more energy and power to make it where they have a bigger goal to get to it. So the track is going to be like cartoonishly like stretching out in front of them. Yes.
And the only sort of entities that exist that would be able to undertake something like this, we're talking about something that is nation state level, but now we're talking about a nation state that's far beyond the power of any nation state that currently exists or conceivably could exist in the remotely near future. And it scales accordingly. So that's part of what's like the sheer brilliance of it, is that it has a very purifying effect. It's like an incentive aligning technology that actually kind of it incentivizes behaviors that are pro-civilizational behaviors. So there was something else I was going to say. Bitcoin. No. So if the United States becomes like announces a strategic Bitcoin reserve, and they're going to have to be it'll be interesting to see how they would go about doing this, because it's like you want to have the Bitcoin before the announcement is made, because the effect of that announcement being made will be like
reduce their reserve because the price will go up because
because the entire world is all going to go screaming into it at the same time.
I don't know if you know, Denise, you know what a bell curve is? We are not very far in the bell curve. We are not into early where we would be. We would not be halfway through like that first part with like the early adopter parabolic part.
Put it this way, the people that I'm listening to, and these aren't like the super like hype mogul like maxis that are doing it for engagement bait. These are the people that are doing serious analysis of the charts. And when they project out these different possibilities, we're looking at, I think Michael Saylor's estimation is that in 15 years, we're going to be at $13.8 million per Bitcoin. It might have been sooner than that. It might have been 7 years, somewhere in there, somewhere in that time frame. Basically, over the next decade or so, like these are the kinds of numbers that people are speculating about, like educated speculation, because we're talking about like all the capital markets in the world redenominating themselves in Bitcoin. So you put Bitcoin on one side and you put all the capital markets in the world, which is hundreds and hundreds of trillions of dollars. You put them next to each other and you take all of this and you siphon it into this side. So this side's going to get real big. And so the effect, if the United States has a strategic Bitcoin reserve, what this means is that someone selling US treasuries or selling US dollars to buy Bitcoin increases the asset side on the balance sheet for the United States.
Right.
So any other nation that buys Bitcoin makes the United States wealthier. And and so in this way, you actually saw something kind of similar to this beginning to happen. I think this is a momentous occasion. Today, Bukele, someone had him, told him to Autism Capital, tweeted at him and said, show us the portfolio, how much it's grown. And it's basically doubled. Their Bitcoin holdings have basically doubled in dollar terms. So they've gone from like 300 million to 600 million. And the El Salvador's sovereign debt actually went up as well. So it's the first time he said that Bitcoin and sovereign debt have both tracked up together. So the price of El Salvador's debt improved. So there's more interest and more demand for El Salvador's sovereign debt because their Bitcoin holdings are going up. So the same thing would happen with the United States, I think. I was kind of gaming this out the other day. I was doing a back and forth with Grok trying to reason through this. And I was like, I think it's not true that people say that Bitcoin and the US dollar are like in an inverse relationship with one another. Bitcoin's not going to replace the dollar. It's going to ground the dollar. It's going to be like the dollar used to be grounded in gold.
In gold, yeah.
Now it'll be grounded in digital gold.
So will it have that same like claim check relationship, do you think, or?
That I don't know. Like, I think part of this is getting outside my domain. Like I can listen and understand to an extent, and then beyond that, it's just like I'm not a developer. I don't have a developer brain. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. Some of these things are like, there's going to be a change. Something is going to be different, but by definition, like before money was invented, you wouldn't say like what kind of money is going to be used because people didn't think of money in that way. And this is the sort of change that Bitcoin is going to bring about. It's not just like another kind of money. It's
Wait,
like,
you're telling me that people are going to ride in metal horses that shoot gas out of them? What are you saying?
Right. Yeah. So some of these questions are like we're exploring a whole new world. I think there's an interesting parallel between going to space and going to Bitcoin. They're kind of like,
oh, going to the moon, you mean? That's where we're heading, aren't we?
Yeah. Right. Mars. But I think like the space race and the Bitcoin race, I think are kind of, these are both the new frontiers that once upon a time it was the new world. And these are both parallel. So there's kind of a spiritual synchronicity to them, I think.
I think this is going over, some people said, so maybe we could switch. And some people said they're gonna have to like go back and listen. It was getting into like a bit more of like a bit way past the 101 stuff with Bitcoin. But so Orthodox Family Life says, I need Mr. Westford to grow his beard out before I can take financial advice from him. Otherwise, it feels like I'm taking advice from a kid. Well, this isn't going to help my case, but like earlier you mentioned things kind of taking off in 2013. That's when I graduated high school. So however that makes you go,
that was when I left college.
Well, so you're 4 years ahead of me?
No, probably 6 years ahead of you, because I was in college for 5 years, and then I had a year between 1 year, no, 2 years. So I'd be 7 years ahead of you.
Okay, yeah. So you're like my older brother's age. I have a 7-something-year-old older brother, and then like an 8-something older brother. Yeah, I knew there was going to be some like, oh, like people are just going to suddenly get myocarditis.
The arthritis starts acting up
Yeah.
in the
Oh, it's true what they say. The joints do feel some kind of way when it's cold.
I threw my back out getting out of bed the other day.
I haven't had that yet. My priest gave a sermon like this like 2 years ago now, that if you wanted to acquire humility, and you pray for humility, you better be prepared to be humiliated. I
Uh-huh.
was like, okay. I was like, all right, bet. And that night I went and I prayed specifically for humility. And in that week, I went ice skating for the first time, and I was doing really good. I was going fast, and then suddenly there was a lot of people in the ice, like way more, like a big influx. And then my mother-in-law was bringing my daughter in, so I like was distracted, and somebody cut in front of me, and I like twisted, and my whole body landed right on my ankle. And I just like fell down in front of everybody. Everybody's like stopped, and like nobody's helping me. I'm like crawling on the ice because I try to get up and I can't. And I'm like red in the face, and everybody's just staring at me. And then like they awkwardly like, do you need help? I'm like, yeah, I prayed for this. This is my fault. And now it still hurts. It's never gonna be the same.
Yeah. Praying for humility is a great way to get humiliated.
Jason, is that an offer, or I don't know? I have heard of people like adopting adult children for financial reasons or something. So I don't know if there's some kind of like business. I don't know if this is something you're trying to build here.
Yeah. He's going to bring you on as a dependent.
Yeah, I don't know if that helps you stack or whatever. My brain's kind of fried. How did I? Do you have a Halo pulled up?
I can.
I think the way I have to do it is share my entire screen and then just click over.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure also share audio system. Yes. So nobody send me anything on Discord or anything to make my notifications go boom.
Do you
Right.
think
Click.
there'll be talk
Click.
back from you? I wonder if people will be able to hear us.
All right. Well, I have it shared now, and I can't see the chat anymore, so I'm gonna try to pull it up on my phone. Let me know if the audio sounds all right. I have it pretty low because it was blowing out my ear in compared to Matt earlier. And this is the wind down. We can talk about whatever part, guys. We don't have to talk about Bitcoin and politics or whatever.
We have to do the whole like get connected thing here.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're right. You're on Xbox. This is going to be a nightmare. You have to invite me because I don't know.
And let's see. Let me see if it'll let me invite you. Yeah, okay. So invite sent.
All right, I see it. Where'd it go? Give me. Okay, I have to go all the way in here to find it. It said failed. We should have had this set up before. Oh, infinite regress.
I will. I'll send you another invite. Here.
Clicky click away.
I'm not hearing anything. Like I can hear the audio from the
from your own.
No. Everything sounds good to me. Like I can hear the audio coming through on the game, but it's not. I'm not getting talk back or any sound of anything else.
Okay. Well, that's not a guarantee because I've had it like with me and the guest. Totally sounds fine. The people in the chat say it's different on stream, so it's a good sign. But I don't trust it.
Did you get the invite I sent you?
I don't see it. I can look you. I have to like type your whole name in.
I just sent another one. I'm setting up the settings here for the match. Okay. I liked what you did yesterday. How did you do that? Scoring?
Which part?
Scoring. Oh, okay. I see here. So assist points, you get 1. Suicide betrayal -1. Headshot bonus 1. Beatdown bonus 1. Assassination was 2 points. You said?
I think you're confusing me with Colin or somebody because I wasn't on last night.
Oh, that's right. I was doing it with Colin. That's right. Never mind. This is fun. So he added a bunch of bonus points for each of these different things. So you get a bonus for a sticky, you get a bonus for an assassination, a bonus for a beatdown. So it was funny. He just had to start playing, and then you get a spree bonus as well. he had to start playing, and after a few seconds, Cooper was like, "Wait a second, why do you have 9 kills? You only killed me 3 times."
I see. So wouldn't that wait? Wouldn't that it makes sense that Colin made that because he's the one that. Wait, no, no. What Colin does is he waits for somebody else to almost get a kill and he like gets the last shot. That's what he does.
Oh yeah. Okay, hold on here. What's the other thing I'm trying to do? It's great TV, I know. Weapons on map. I want respawn. Let's see, spawn weapons here. No, general settings. Player traits, weapons, primary weapon. Okay, random.
I looked you up. I can since you already got it set up. Just send me an invite. What's the chat saying? Do all you youngins play Halo? I've been playing Halo since I was. When did the first one come out? I remember it blowing my brain, just blowing my brains right out. My my dad was in college when Pong came out, and I remember we had we had the original NES and we had N64. I remember when the PlayStation 2 came out, we got Metal Gear Solid 2, and my dad just he's turned it on, and the first level is on this tanker in the ocean, and it's dark and there's rain, and it's hitting against the character's head and it's hitting against the railing, and my dad just sat there and stared at it and was like, games will never look better than this. And you look back, it's like a potato.
Yeah, no kidding. It's pretty crazy how well the Halo games have held up.
Oh yeah, no, they look great. Even the first one.
Okay, so it looks like you didn't get the invite.
Nothing popped up. If I go back here, maybe. No, I don't see anything.
Okay.
I tried to accept that first one and it said failed. So this is a great start.
Let me try here. So sending it on 3, 2, 1, sent.
I don't see nothing. I'm gonna look you up and see if I can find you. All right, do you get that? Did you get that?
Yeah.
So the first Halo game came out when I was 6. I remember going to my neighbor's house and we played the campaign on co-op, and I was just like my dad looking at the PlayStation 2, just like, what in the
Yeah.
just driving around in circles, just like my mouth hanging open.
All right. Well, you get the settings set up here. I'm going to hit the head real quick. I'll be right back.
Gotcha. You joined in. Okay, there you are. Okay.
Yeah.
How are y'all doing? What are y'all saying? You play Free Cell? I don't even know what that is. Chancho sent you an invite. This is not power washing. I mean, it could be. We don't have to kill each other. We can lay down our arms and just explore. I mean, Matt doesn't really play Halo 2. That's the one I know an embarrassing amount of glitches and secrets and Easter eggs. I can autistically show people. Me and my friends found this thing in this dark recess of this map. You have to jump on each other's heads, and then you have to jump. And when you have to time, so they're on your head. Somebody's on your head. You jump, and they jump right after that. And then you have to jump, and you have to get in a rhythm to where they can get high enough, and then they can get on this ledge, and then you have to tiptoe, and you have to jump and then crouch in the air so that you land on this ledge, and then you throw a grenade at the ground, and you jump at the right time so then the grenade explodes and pushes you up higher, and then you can get out of the map. And then there's this little if you walk for 5 minutes, there's this gray statue, and it's George was here. So I can show you a bunch of stuff like that. That's just taking up real estate in my brain. I probably should have gotten the game set up while he I was just talking about Halo. I was talking about how I know all the glitches and Easter eggs and stuff. They're just we have to do all this asinine jumping up ledges and timing certain things just to see somebody wrote Dick Butt was here.
Yeah.
All right, what was the scoring you wanted?
You could. It's probably too much work. You could just do it normal.
Okay. All right. We kill each other. We kill.
Just kill each other. Do random weapons. Like
You got it.
spawn with random weapons and unlimited grenades.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. General settings. Player traits. That's the one.
Oh, and turn off the respawn delays.
Yeah.
My hope here is to let's see if the score is 25. My hope is to get to 15 kills. That's my goal.
Well, hate. I mean, you better utilize like your gift of gab to get there.
Keep you distracted.
Yeah, okay. I did grenades. I did the weapons. Oh yeah, respawn. That's what I'm looking for. Back. Player traits. Where's respawn? Respawn setting. That's probably it. Instant. I'm gonna turn off the penalties.
Yeah.
All right. You good? What you want? Guardian?
Yeah, Guardian or
Construct.
Construct are my favorites. Yeah.
So we can go through those. And with my desk here, I have a mount for my mic arm. But it doesn't fit, like the height of the edge of it is too high for the arm to go on. It's like the mount to go on. So I'm just gonna like awkwardly hold my mic arm between my thighs here.
Okay.
To be able to talk. That or to like push it up against the desk. I don't even know. Did it start for you?
No, it didn't.
Just went to 0 and just sat there.
It was doing this the other day. I don't remember.
Go.
Yeah, it was doing this the other day, and it might be. I don't remember what changed it.
The action might be a Halo Power Wash DLC.
Oh, Jason's power washing streams.
Yeah.
Try. Can you make me party leader?
Let's try. Make leader. Yes.
Okay, then.
I had Miss Pac-Man as a kid. Miss Pac-Man is better than Pac-Man.
Okay, I just got to set up the. Well, I'm gonna just go with default settings here real quick just to see if it'll let it go through.
I'm surprised the number stayed strong at 20 despite us switching over to from what would you like crypto nerd talk to Halo.
Yeah.
Like the hottest thing in the world right now, everybody wants to jump on number go up to, hey, this old game.
Oh, I think it's for whatever reason it's not letting me go through here. So let me jump out and see if it'll do a normal matchmaking.
I grew up on Final Fantasy 7. I've never played Final Fantasy 7. I played Tomb Raider. Played the first 3 of them on PlayStation 1, and then the last one I played was like Heart of Darkness or something like that. Oh, we got to play a.
I'm seeing if it'll connect us to a match.
Okay.
So, because it wouldn't let me go through, and it wouldn't the other day, and I'm pretty sure when it wouldn't work, we went and played a matchmaking one, and then came back and it worked.
Okay. Yeah, we can try that. Maybe I should play Miss Pac-Man on my live stream. Yeah, I mean, totally viable strategy. A lot of people just need, and this is like the first thing I really saw this. I mean, there's like all the Let's Play stuff, but like you remember Leafy on YouTube?
No.
He was like a political commentator. He was a very, very small emo looking guy, but he would just like have a game playing and his face would be on it, but like it didn't have to be him playing. It was just him talking about politics with like game visuals on the screen for all the ADHD people to get trapped in looking at.
That sounds kind of cozy.
Yeah, yeah, but like it like I said, I don't even know if he was actually like playing it or if it was even footage of him playing. I mean, probably was footage of him playing it, but it's not like the same as like the power wash. Like, oh yeah, washing this house. Like,
whoa. We're playing Team Fiesta. Spawn with random weapons.
That's what we were gonna do.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's on Guardian.
Yeah, I felt like something like now we're back in our custom game or something.
Yeah.
All right, it's going to get muy caliente. Do you know Olin Rogers?
No.
Oh, another old YouTube. You ever heard of Balloon Shop? Probably not.
No. I never really, basically the only like YouTubers that I ever really followed were the like NRX guys.
Who are they?
Just the like NRX is like the Menches Moldbug, Nick Land. Oh, did it dump you out?
I hope not. I'm seeing it. It's dumped somebody out. We have only 3 people on our team.
Oh, yeah, you are there. I see. Okay. Yes, we lost a guy.
Just so everybody knows, I'm Baxter. That was my dog when I was in 6th grade.
I'm Dwell Hungarian.
You can't say that without the
Why would I
snicker.
want a spiker?
I feel really slow for some reason.
Yeah, it was kind of lagging for a second there. Oh, good.
Come here. Oh, he's got the sniper.
I ran into the overshield guy with a spiker. That didn't work out.
Oh, that's embarrassing. The grav lift didn't push me at all. I don't know what happened.
Guy's teabagging. Oh, it's lagging.
Oh, wait, no, there's a grav lift there. Why didn't it push me?
Uh-oh. Holy crap. That dude could snipe.
This is embarrassing. I'll get a rhythm. I'm also playing a mouse and keyboard, which is very suboptimal.
Oh, yeah. Almost impossible.
I have -1. Oh, it counted as a suicide. Here, come here. Come here. Oh, come here. When was this? What year was this made? Gosh, okay, let me think. I was in middle school when this came out. I was probably in 8th grade. So 2009. I remember the day it came out. Yeah. Me and my friend Zach bought it, and we stayed up like the entire weekend beating it on Legendary.
Yeah, this was like my game of choice in college.
Oh!
Really?
He's knows. Come up. Oh, he's got a sword. Come here, baby. Come here.
Look your head out, big boy.
Oh, he's up.
Man, that guy can snipe.
Yeah, he's pretty good. One of these got the swords. Oh! 2007, maybe?
Our teammate is dead. It's just standing there. Good grief.
Give me sniper. No. Get there.
They can both snipe.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Leroy! That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah! Oh, what? That was... I don't know how this grenade killed me. I was 1 grenade on the ground that got me.
Oh, of course he had the shotgun.
Oh, come on.
Oi!
Dang it. Here we go. Yeah, our dude's just hanging out. All right, well. Hello. Oh, come on. I threw a grenade. Our guy's alive. He's actually playing.
Oh, finally.
I'm getting sniped.
Where's he sniping?
By sniper spawn.
Hmm.
And there's another sniper over here by Invis.
I killed the sniper over there.
Oh, all right. Well, let me grab it.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that was almost a double.
Oh, that was
almost a double. Oh, baby, it is a double. Come here. Oh, I'm out of ammo. All right. All right. He's gonna jump up. I'm gonna do a 3. And I'm dead. I was gonna lay out the plan. I was gonna do like the 1 in a million shot.
I got the guy over here. I don't know how I wound up with a spiker again. Nice.
Fool. Behind us.
Killed a guy with a spiker.
It's the worst gun.
Yeah.
What's he got up there? He's waiting. I shouldn't go up. I shouldn't go up, but I am.
Don't go up, don't go up.
There's 2 of them. Jump down. Jump down. Grenades.
I got cooked.
Do you remember? There's probably still people that do this. But you remember like the gamer, like teenager, like scream whisper, like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Don't wake up! Wake up my mom!
Oh,
You. No, please.
I just turned around straight into a rocket.
Strafe tat? I don't know what that is. Ow.
Oh, he's
Got him.
Yeah,
I got him. Grenades.
He took a close range shotgun.
All right. Oh, come here, baby. Come here. I'll take the free kill. Yeah!
He's lagging out.
No.
With the hammer.
Got him.
Nice. Coming in with
Yep. Grenade city.
Ah! Laser. Nice.
Take you all on. Come on.
Are you down below?
I am down below. Yeah, there's tossing grenades.
Whoa.
Nice. He's coming. There's. Where can I be that's not exploding?
Nice.
All right, it's about map control. Let's just
Watch out for the laser.
very minimal map control since there's not like it doesn't really matter about respawns.
Right.
What was there? Was a those rockets. I even must be. He must be down there.
Ah! Got naded. Our teammate's just chilling again. Oh, watch out.
Got him.
Nice.
Give me that sniper. Give me it.
I got a sniper here too. I got ammo.
I don't know what he is. He's got rockets.
Okay.
Laser up top. He's coming down.
Yep.
Oh, if he didn't do that bubble shield, that was going to be a headshot. Hello. Oh, behind you. It's a quagmire.
Ah, I
Middle East in the 2000s.
I got a bunch of assists.
Oh, they lost a guy too. Okay, I have the hammer and the golf club. I got gypped. Oh my god, it's exploding. Dang it.
That guy is.
Gotcha. That was my shot.
Oh.
Are you at liberty to talk about the secret transmission at all? Is there any, since people are sticking with us, the 10 people that are sticking with us to play video games and hang out, do they get any special insights?
Yeah.
Oh, did I just jump off? Oh no.
No. There's no way.
Whoa. Hey, let's think about this. Oh my god. That was like a I had to pick my poison there.
Top middle.
No, I'm dead.
Oh.
Oh, laser. Oh.
Oh man. Hate it when I pick up a
Hello, baby.
weapon.
Oh. Blammo.
Get him. Get him. Nice.
It's so weird to use that gun. Just like,
Rocket. The only one. No. Oh, wow. What a shot.
I missed. I got a shoulder.
Spawned with only close range weapons.
Right beside you.
He's weak. He's weak. Just one shot.
Die.
Nice.
Okay, we can just don't die. All right, that's strategy. Strategy number 1. You see that slick shot? You see that? You see that?
No, I didn't, but I heard you got a killing spree.
Oh yeah, two headshots right in a row.
Nice.
Just don't die. I can do this. I
Holy
can do
crap.
this. I said I can do this. I had 2 snipers. I could get all the kills.
I was trying to get out of the way.
Yeah,
and
random.
A grenade blew me back out into the open.
Yeah, it was that was random weapons. We would have won if I didn't have an embarrassing start. I just like jumped off the side on accident once.
Yeah, and our teammate.
Yeah, both of them lost a teammate, and then one guy just sat there. He got surprisingly only 8 deaths. But
okay, let's see if we can get the
most kills in the game. Most kills in the game. I'm not gonna, I'm not trying to brag or nothing. But so everybody lost. I mean, I think. Did anybody really lose when I got the most kills in the game? I don't know.
No, everyone wins. Everyone wins when you win.
Okay, let me.
All right,
here, you just want to highlight this, right? Okay. Oh yeah, come back. Oh,
I'm
the
just
game's starting.
start it to see if it'll start, and then
well, you got to press.
Actually, all right, so then I'm going to go back out and reset all the settings, but now it'll work.
Well, no, I can't show them how many headshots I got because this is going to be like, you got nothing in that game. It lasted 3 seconds.
Oh yeah, that's true. Apologies.
No, it's okay. I don't. It's probably better for my soul if I don't gloat. Wait, Justin? I missed a call from Justin.
Come on.
Did Justin call me during the stream?
It didn't bring you with me.
What?
Are you the only one in there right now, or did it drop you out?
Yeah, it says you quit.
Oh, that's dumb. I was leader of the party. I should have gone with you. Or you should have gone with me. I just sent another invite.
I see it this time.
Excellent. Okay. So now we need... nope. Options. General settings. Primary is random. Grenade count unchanged.
What's the I know I've already asked one question that I'm waiting for an answer for, but what's the on the Kingpilled
Oh yeah.
Trajectory for next year? And that might be just another way of asking the previous question, but
yes, that's right. I forgot you asked me that. We're looking at we've had some hiccups in the accessing the transmission. So we're looking at hopefully before the end of the year is when we'll be able to make everything public. But at the very least, it's going to be not like it's not going to be very long.
Yep.
We have some very interesting things that we've learned in the whole process that we'll be able to transmit onto you guys that I think everyone is going to really enjoy.
I can't wait to be transmitted on.
Yeah. Okay, I think I got everything set here. So, Slayer settings. No, I don't need to do that. Weapons, general settings, score to win. All right. Accept options. Yeah, so it will be a once we get the transmission patched in, it will be a a 24-hour transmission. That's what we're expecting at this point. You've got a lot of stuff that's going to come pouring in.
I can't believe I got that.
That little pistol is amazing.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh,
Trying to fix my mic. It's all floppy at the moment. I like pin it.
I'll give you a sec.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Oof. Got cooked.
Oh, you left the weapons on.
Yeah, normal weapons are up.
So your goal was 15?
Yes.
Dang it. Almost had you.
I think I launched everything off the map.
No sniper for you.
Yeah.
I
thought that grenade hit you.
I let it go over me and then I jumped off. But yeah, it's coming at you with a laser. I was like, this is either going to work, I'm dead.
Yeah.
God gave me one option and I took it. You learn to play the hand you're dealt.
Yeah.
Oh, I also have grenades.
Unlimited grenades.
Oh, that's not.
Oh.
Hey, you got to kill.
Oh.
I totally missed the level.
I totally missed trying to melee you. Oh,
I totally didn't miss snooting your face.
Yeah. Ah.
I probably shouldn't be allowed to use this. You coming up? Come here.
I accidentally zoomed in. I pressed too hard on the stick. She said.
Oh. Oh, that was pretty good. Oh, you got me.
I love playing that game.
Oh. Oh. Am I supposed to have that? Did I get you off?
You got me off. Yeah. I forgot.
Yeah, you had a really good bounce. You like went down and up and then off the wall. Are you watching a Halo fight? Wow, is it very suspenseful? Yes, I'm actually just playing solitaire while listening.
Oh!
Well, I appreciate it.
So close.
The grenades are a game changer.
Uh-huh. It's so much fun. Nice. I was already committed to the jump. Oh, nice. I heard it.
I felt like I hit. Did I hit you at all, or did I miss?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was blinking.
I was trying to go for the long shot of pew-pewing you.
Yeah.
We need to get all the Curse World guys and whoever else wants to jump. I made a map that's more fun with more people.
Was it the jump one?
Yeah. Everybody, there's one sniper in a nest up high, and he's in the middle of a circle, and it's like a racetrack. That's a donut. Everybody has to go around the racetrack while the sniper's trying to snipe them. And if you get to the end, then you are able to you get a more shield, and you get weapons, and you're able to fight back. So it becomes like a sniper battle at the end.
Huh. That would be fun one to get a whole bunch of guys on.
Yeah, if we had like 15, I just killed myself.
Oh, hey, I got a kill. Damn.
Game physics, or like physics be damned. No. I hate your stupid freaking. What even are you? Like a
elite
weird dog face that can't be killed by when I shoot it.
That's
you have four. You have like the mouth that opens in 4 ways. When I shoot your weird dog tongues, it doesn't do the right damage.
Like Predator.
Yeah.
Hey.
You take one. Yeah, this map is really good.
This is my
honestly a lot of like the launch maps were. There was only like 2 not great launch maps.
Oh, nice stick.
But most of the vanilla maps are better than the DLC, I think.
I agree.
I mean, there's some good DLC, but there's like, I don't know, like 1 in 4 or something that's. Stupid dog face.
I'm trying to stick you.
I will be stuck when I want to be stuck. You get the kills I allow you to get.
Holy crap.
Check the chat.
The big green retard gun.
Yeah, that's why people would play the elites, because it's just harder to hit their faces.
Uh-huh.
You feel like you should have gotten the 1-shot kill, but you didn't. Oh. 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 Oh, you got a lot closer. I thought you were at the end of the hall still.
I do a sneak.
Yes. Hello. Good throw.
Thank you.
All right, that means I got to step it up, because you only have 3 more before I have to not let you kill me at all.
Whoops. Just came really close to sticking myself.
Wow, that was. I tried to do a big sneaky thing just to be like making it look like I just walked back 10 feet. I was like, I'm going to go around, and then here you are.
Ah! You shot me in the toe.
Yeah. Gave you a pedicure. Whoa, hey, I just killed you. Get out of here.
Ah!
It's weird that people look at this and they think old.
Yeah, holy crap. You moved at the last second. I was trying to come run up right behind you and just stick you.
He almost got me. Ah! Almost shot you in the ankle. Dogs have ankles, right? Yeah, they got ankles.
Yeah.
They're not called something different. Oh, I'm out of ammo.
Oh, nice grenade. What the hell?
Oh, hello.
Ugh! I knew that grenade hit you. I was trying to see through the green wall on my screen. Nice throw.
It took like half my health out. Nah, it went like right between your legs or something.
Uh, ugh!
All right, I got to do something more interesting for these last kills. I mean, you have a chance. Keep trying. Let me get my sensitivity all the way up.
That's how I play.
Trying to 360 no scope. No. Don't do it.
I don't even know what killed me.
A spike grenade up around.
I needed a secondary. I got close.
Do you think violent games make you more violent?
No.
Yeah,
I
I don't think
anything,
so.
it's the opposite.
Lets you let off steam, or
Yeah, I think it's a, especially if they're used productively. I think it's good for like hand-eye coordination, and so there's like various talent development things you can do that, like obviously there's lots of harmful things with it, but there's lots of guys I know who are what was I going to say? Sorry, I'm changing the settings up here. There's a lot of guys I know who have like their careers set them up. They were set up for their career because of video games. I have a buddy that drives logging trucks in Canada, and all the guys that run the skidders are like city boys who are really good at video games because everything's done with like joysticks or controllers.
oh, interesting. Yeah. Video games taught me a whole lot of stuff, like not just like the storytelling, whatever, but just like actual technical things. Like a video game would have like a certain type of doctor, like I don't know, like I'd like look up like what the heck is that, like, or the like this stuff in the story or things you'd like have to get. I didn't know what they were. You'd either tell me or I'd go and look it up. So there's a lot of my just like head knowledge, just things you learn, are just from playing video games.
Stupid spiker.
Oh, is that what you're shooting at me with?
Yeah.
You had overshields and a spiker, and you still lost.
The spike, yeah, because it was a
like,
spiker.
Yeah. But I didn't throw a grenade. I shot you like for 2 seconds and then punched.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a 1-to-1 battle. We were just shooting at each other. There was no, I don't think I really got a heads up on you or.
No, I tried to stick you. I came up behind you and tried to stick you, and but
hello. Ooh.
I turned off the default weapons, so there's no weapons on the map.
Okay. Yeah, I went for a spawn already.
So now it's just whatever random thing we spawn with. I should have added a secondary.
Are there any new arena shooters like Halo? Like, is there like an arena shooter market?
I've heard is it called Destiny? I just second guessed
that's
myself.
that's Bungie's new game. I never really played it.
Yeah, I know that my brother had played it a lot. He never really played Halo, but he because he'd played that, he was like really natural with I hate that stupid thing.
Yeah, it's the worst. Oh, I didn't even.
Oh!
I thought I just run at you and when the light went off, I'd headshot you.
I threw a grenade that blew up the.
I must have Beck.
Oh, good grief!
You get a spiker.
Worse.
Oh, I hear you.
Truly the most useless.
Uranusologist. Your wife said, "I've never been more attracted to you than when you're bad at video games." Oh, there you go. I mean, yeah, it's I feel conflicted because I'm really good at video games, and I don't know, it feels good to do something you're good at. But I have never utilized it in a way, and it feels weird to even like utilize it in a way that you'd make money, kind of. I guess that's what this kind of is. But I don't know. It's like one of those. It feels embarrassing to. I don't know. My parents are going through a divorce in high school, and I played a lot of video games.
I basically I played very little until college. I had a Nintendo 64 in when I was growing up.
Nope. We're tied, and that means like there's something wrong with the universe. Stinking pistol sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Oh wow, the grav lift grabs it from right there. Tries to pull it in. Come here, I'm right here. Just come use your shotgun. Huh? I don't know, Matt. How you feeling? How much longer you want to go?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Dancing around each other.
Doomslayer. Hello, how are you doing? Oh, hello.
My reign of terror has ended.
Fear me. Chicken thrower. What does that mean? All right, let's go. I got one bullet on me. Oh, hey! You've changed the deal.
Oh!
I don't know how I didn't die from that grenade right by me.
Yeah.
Missed. Oh. Oh. I see why you took off the weapons on the map. That puts me at a much bigger disadvantage not to be able to just grab the sniper over and over.
Exactly.
Oh, my, you're invisible! No, get away from me! I'm gonna kill myself. I mean, jump off of a ledge. Wait, that's probably not good either. It's a video game.
Boogity, 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 boogity.
Got me spooked now. I see you. I see you. You should have turned the radar off too. Oh, we should play whatever the smallest map is. Invisible hammers start.
Yeah.
Just looking for each other. No.
Oh, I thought I got you with the sticky.
Not today. Oh. It's really weird to see the same guy you killed like half a second later.
Right? Adds to the fun.
At least when it's like 3 or 4 seconds, you feel like it's like the next encounter. I got no ammo. Well, I've got grenades.
Oh, leg. Retreat.
Whoa, I didn't even know you're there.
I was trying not to be. Oh, man. I don't know how I survived that.
Die.
Oh! What am I doing on your screen? Do I look normal?
Yeah, you look normal to me. Are you flip-flopping around?
Yeah, it was wigging out.
Oh!
Ah!
Oh, no! Have you ever played Lethal Company?
Lethal Company. No, what is it?
It's it looks kind of like a retro N64 game, but you play in late stage capitalism space, like cleanup crew. You go to different moons and you gather space junk for the company, and the company provides very, very well for you. The company is life. The company is all you need. It's all you ever need to know. But you go into these moons and there's spooky, scary happenings, and you have to communicate with each other, and you try not to get lost, and you have walkie-talkies, and it's dark and spooky.
What style of game is it?
It's called a roguelite, where you try to go like as far as you can. So you can you basically you start off at 0, and you see how long your team can go.
Okay.
And it's like you go in and you can. It's like you're constantly. It's like doing wagers in a way. Like you're like, okay, we got enough loot. Do we want to go and try to get more? So that will help us get even more gear for next time, or do we want to cut our losses? And the a cool thing about it is you're not supposed to, it's better if you don't use like Discord or something like that for audio. You use the in-game chat, because it actually has proximity chat. So like the closer you are, the louder you are. And if you're in like the open air, it's going to sound different than if you're like in like the hallways. You can hear them through the hallways and you're trying to figure out where they are.
Interesting.
So the communication is really, really important in the game.
So it'd be better to have I see, like, if you're actually it's like part of the experience that you can't, like, you won't, if you do it through the game, then you can't talk to each other if you're not in proximity to each other.
Yeah, that's the better way to do it. So me and my friend Nadeem streamed it, and he was streaming on one end and I was on the other. So, and we were only in the game chat. We weren't on each other's stream, so we couldn't hear each other. Or you can be on the same stream, just like mute or whatever. But you got to make sure that you just hear each other in the game.
Uh-huh.
All right, here we go. I gotta start paying attention.
What?
I don't know. I don't question it. I just I'm thankful.
don't even know what killed me.
I punched you.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Somehow my punch was more powerful than your shotgun shell.
Huh.
Ah. Don't you love like when you get hit in the game? You're ooh
Yeah.
ouch. Once my wife dropped a pencil and she said ouch, and it's like, really? All right. All right, I gotta start trying now. I don't even know where you are. Huh. Ah, good grenade.
Thanks. It sounded like someone went up the grav lift while we were having that little battle.
Yeah, I did the jump into the window. I don't think I did the grab lift.
I was like, is there another person playing?
That'd be weird. Freaking Hero Brian or something.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, you're not supposed to see me.
Oh!
All right, well, it's game's over. I got freaking 2 snipers.
Oops.
Oh.
What if I just jump off the edge?
Yeah, well, as long as you don't do it twice, then you'll still win, or at least not lose. Sorry. Oh, oops. Oh, hey, sand. That's pretty much what it is. It's just
Pop sand.
pop.
Oh! Just missed you.
Pop.
Did you survive that?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Whoa. Came up.
All right, last one. All right.
Let's do it.
Sensitivity all the way up. Here we go. What does it look like when I do a 360 on your screen?
Like you're doing a 360.
Oh. Okay, I gotta wait. Okay, just hang on. Okay. Okay, I gotta flick the. That's a 180. That's not right.
Whoop. It's hard to do it and keep it like
like level
controller to keep it level. Yeah.
Did you have to turn your sensitivity like all the way up?
I already do. I play with my sensitivity really high.
Oh, it's easy on the mouse. That's like the best thing about the mouse because you just do the middle click, but you always do it when you don't mean to. So then suddenly you can't move your controller. You can't move your cursor. That was pretty close. All right, game on.
Out of ammo.
I got a no skip. Oh, well, I'm coming for you.
Oh no!
You cannot hide. Oh, thank you. The game just gave me the overshield as I walked there. Just appeared into my being, absorbed it.
I don't think anything else is.
Yeah, your strategies worked against you now.
There's no other weapons on the map now.
You have to kill me without your ammo to get my gun. Huh? What? Oh no! Don't mind me. Oh.
Doobie 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 doo.
Do what do?
Ah!
Oh, I didn't mean to go up. I didn't mean to go up. Shh. He can't see me.
Got 2 empty weapons.
You wasted your shot.
Yeah.
Come here. Well. Oh, this is great. Fear me. Where'd you go? Pop. Oh, did I get you?
Oh, you got me.
Oh, yeah, I'm playing bad guys right now. Okay. All right. I got to go put the little one to bed. I'm sorry you got to miss bad guys. Bad guys is our favorite things.
Yeah, bad guys.
I'm surprised nobody mentioned right before this. She colored all of my face with marker. Oh my gosh, I can't.
I couldn't see it.
Yeah, no bad guy right now. Yeah, I look like Post Malone's early years.
Is she like coloring on you while you're sleeping?
No, I was just holding her.
On your face?
Markers. She like went from the page to my face. And I sat there and took it. I can't interrupt the artist.
That's right. She's creating a masterpiece.
Yeah. Should I wipe this off? Okay. Well, all right. Chancho, thank you for joining me. Anything you want to say? You want to promote yourself? I think I put your links in the description.
Yeah, Kingpilled. Just look for Kingpilled on the internet. You'll find me. YouTube, Podcatcher, Real Kingpilled on Twitter, and join the Kingpilled Discord, kingpilled.com. It's a fun place to be.
But remember, that's going to be outdated. This time next year, you have to look up Chancho.
Yeah, Chancho.com.
You won't find it.
Yeah, if you're listening to this like a year from now, then Kingpilled name is gone and dead, and it's just Chancho.
All right, well, Chancho, farewell. I'm sure I'll kick your ass in Halo again sometime.
Yeah.